Finding some nice, easy in-breath and out-breath. Good. Take a big inhale, big exhale. Relax your shoulders down. Let them slide together and down your back. Every time you inhale, create length through the top of the spine. And every time you exhale, sit a little deeper into your hips. We'll take about 5 rounds just like that to really tune in. Inhale. And then exhale. Letting go of everything else. There's so much going on in the world lately. There's so much to worry about. Just let everything go and be present on your mat. So it's just you and your mat. Good, very last one. On this last one, if your hands aren't already on your lap, go ahead and place them there. And then when you inhale, lift your chin and start to open up through the throat. So however far back you reach your head is entirely up to you. And just open up, feel the stretch of the skin from the chin down to the base of the collarbone there. And then as you exhale, tuck that chin and feel that same stretch up the back of the neck. Every inhale, lift the chin, finding your opening. And then as you exhale, tuck and round. Nice, last one, just like that, lift all the way up with the chin. And then last time we tuck. And then find neutral with your neck. So just letting your head come to the natural way that you hold it. Left ear, left shoulder. Maybe bringing the hand to the top of the head. Maybe reaching that right arm out nice and long. Good, go ahead and release the head. Sweep that left arm around, interlace your fingers behind your back. Make that fist with your hands and just bring the thumb side of your hands to your lower back. Peel the shoulders together. So you're going to push the shoulder blades towards each other, and that's going to open up the heart space yet again. It's also a really nice stretch for the upper arms. Elbows are bent behind you. Good, and then go ahead and release. We're going to go to the other side. So your right shoulder, left hand to the mat, right hand on top of the head. Beautiful, go ahead and release. This time we're going to stretch the opposite way with the back. So we're going to sweep the left arm underneath the right, bend at the elbows, and either bringing the backs of the hands together or taking that double wrap with the fingers just around the wrist. Squeeze the shoulder blades open and tuck the chin. You can let the elbows rest right on your chest for this first one. Again, getting all through that upper back and shoulder area. It's a really nice stretch. Good, on your next inhale, lift the elbows up and push the hands away. Good. And then exhale, release, sweep the arms around behind you, interlace the hands again. This time, maybe starting to work the fingers down. Maybe they come all the way onto the mat here as you squeeze those shoulders open. And then releasing those hands. And we're going to take that wrap to the other side. So right arm underneath left this time. Same thing with those eagle arms. And let the head fall down or keep it neutral, whatever works for you, whatever feels really good. Beautiful. And then go ahead and release. So we're going to do a couple of yin shapes today. So some long held stretches just to get deep into the connective tissue. So go ahead and start to roll back onto your mat, all the way onto your back, bringing the soles of the feet together, finding our butterfly shape with our feet. If you have a block handy and that feels good, you can go ahead and place it under the knees. Otherwise, just letting the knees splay down and the gravity will do the work here. And you can bring your hands. So in this pose, I like to bring my hands to my belly just to feel the breath pattern. We're going to be here for a few moments. So take the first couple rounds of breath and get the wiggles out. Find your space. And then start to bring all of your awareness to your breath, letting everything else melt away. Just feeling the breath. So as we come deeper into this shape and we open up through the hips here, that's opening up a lot of tension we carry with us. Getting deep into the hip joints. Exposing those tissues, those ligaments and tendons and cartilage, exposing it to a different range of motion. Just about one more breath here. The next time you come to an inhale, release your hands from wherever they are, bring them to the outsides of the legs and use them to pull the knees up towards the sky. Maybe reset your feet. And then go ahead and take a couple just windshield wipers, get the blood flowing again. God, just about 2 more moments here. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and plant the feet. Reach that right leg up towards the sky. Use your hand behind that right leg and point and flex and circle and spin.
Okay, but sniffle guards sounded more fun.
Next event, the water slide race.
Taking a couple rounds here with the leg.
Just let me get ahead so I can win. Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay, a little advice for when you hit.
Spinning those ankles. Now we're going to take this into a twist. So extend that left leg nice and long. You can put a bend into that right knee because it's the first twist we're doing today. And just gently bring that leg across the body over to the other side and reach the right arm out nice and long. This is really great for the upper body, stretching open. Beautiful. Unwind, unravel, and place that right foot on the ground. Pull that left knee in. Give it a nice little tug. This feels amazing because I've been overdoing it a little bit this week. Reach your leg up towards the sky. Point and flex and circle and spin. And then when you're ready, right leg reaches long, bend the left knee and take it into that twist. Reaching your left arm out nice and long. Good. Go ahead and unwind, unravel, pull both knees in, wrap your forearms around your shins, pull the knees into your chest, and then lift the head and heart off the mat. Maybe tuck the chin and perhaps putting forehead to knee if your body works that way. Mine doesn't quite get there. Good. And then we're going to roll up and find our way all the way back to our tabletop shape. So into your hands and knees. Hands are underneath your shoulders, knees are underneath your hips. We're going to take 5 rounds of cat-cow here, but we're going to do them super duper slow. So curl your toes under, and then exhale, push into the mat, straighten the arms, tuck your tailbone, hollow out the belly, chin tucks into where the collarbone, and feel that length from the base of your skull all the way to your tailbone. And then in a nice big inhale, you're going to lift the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the heart, and push yourself forward just ever so slightly so that your heart comes forward between the shoulders. You can keep your feet here on the mat, or if you want to work a little stronger, you're going to point the toes and lift the heels towards your seat. And then as you exhale, you're curling under, rounding. I told you we were going to move really slow through these. And then inhale, starting with the tailbone, lift, drop, scooch the heart between the shoulders, and then lift the feet up last, pointing. Exhale, round. Inhale to your cow. This is only number 3 here. That's how slow we're going. Exhale to press. Inhale. Exhale. Very last one. All the way. Lift the tailbone, drop the belly, lift the heart. And then on this one, curl the toes under, place them down. Curl through the tailbone. So drop it towards the mat. Round through the back. Lift the knees off the mat and push away from the hands. So we call this bear sometimes, or crouching dog, whatever you'd like to call it. And then once you get there, go ahead and straighten through the left leg. Keep the right knee bent. Push the left heel towards the mat. And then switch. Switch one more time to the left. And then switch to the right. Beautiful. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, push away from the hands, and then push both heels down to the mat. Now you're finally in your downward facing dog. From here, we're going to bend the knees and walk the hands back to your feet. A little bit in reverse of what we usually do. Bend the knees and then grab opposite elbows at the back of your mat. Drop the head. Maybe allow the eyes to close. Lift the tailbone and just sway. Just let gravity kind of do its thing. You'll kind of calibrate a little bit and then you'll find a spot that feels really nice and juicy and you just kind of hang out there. So I'm keeping a little bend in my knees because my hamstrings are super tight today. And that's going to allow me to get my tailbone up towards the sky. Okay, so let's bring the fingers to the mat. If your feet are not already, walk them out to just about the edges of your mat. Toes point forward. We're going to put the right hand underneath your nose. I'm coming up onto I'm using a fist for this, but you can come up onto fingertips or onto a block if that feels good. And then sweep the left arm out and up, maybe bending that right knee to get deeper into this twist. And then let's go to the other side. So just switching it out, bringing that left hand down, bending into the left knee and reaching up. Both hands come down and we're gonna walk it back out all the way to that downward facing dog. Hands way forward on the mat. Walk the feet together at the back of the mat and then reach that right leg up behind you. Now open the hip, bend the knee, flex the foot, and drop the head. So keep pushing that right knee up and the left heel down. And then go ahead and place that foot down. We're going to do the same thing second side. So just lift the left leg up, open the hip, bend the knee, flex the foot. And then place that foot down. We're going to find a deep child's pose here. So bring your knees to the mat. And for this one, I want you to walk your knees nice and wide, the length or the width of the mat, if you can. Big toes touch. And then because we're so deep through the hips, I like to come to my forearms, keeping my hands right underneath my head in prayer, my elbows on the mat. And then just use your arms to kind of set you back into the hips here. So when we did that first pose, when we were in our butterfly, it was the same shape for the hips, but you didn't have the extra weight of your body. Now we're using the body to deepen that a little bit more. And we're going to be here for about 90 seconds. Because my clock started in a weird spot, we're going to be here for about 97 seconds. All right, go ahead and settle in. And your mind is going to want to play little games. It's going to want to tell you about everything you need to do or everything that is wrong with you. And just let it all drift past. Don't give it any attention. Give it a big old no, thank you. Keep focusing on that breath. You only have about 22 seconds left. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands underneath the shoulders and prop yourself back up. You can use your weight of your hands to pull the knees back towards each other. And let's find our way all the way up and into a downward facing dog. So take your time getting there, curl the toes under, push up and back, and take a few moments here to just get the feeling back in the legs. You might need to take a couple wiggles. I'm gonna walk out my dog here. Bending the knees, pushing the heels down and coming back up. Whatever you kind of need to do here. Nice. So we're going to keep that left leg planted on the mat. Reach that right leg up and back. Again, opening up the hip, flexing the foot, pushing the left heel to the ground, and noticing that this might show up a lot differently than it did a moment ago. Sweep that right leg all the way forward to the outside of the right hand. Turn the foot out and stay right where you are for a moment. We're going to just push forward and back, working through the wrists. So gentle weight on the wrists, just moving forward and back. Your right shoulder is right against that right knee. Nice. And then the next time you sit back, lower that left knee down, bring your left elbow to the mat and spin open that right leg, looking over the right shoulder. You can release that back foot if it feels good. This is really all about the right hip. Nice. Bring that right hand to the mat. Walk the left hand underneath. turn your toes on that right foot towards the front of your mat, lift the back knee off the mat, and then walk yourself all the way towards the middle, turning your toes now towards what was the left side of your mat. And you can hang out here. This is enough. You don't need to go any further. Or if you want to, you can put a little micro bend in those knees and start to melt down, finding your way to a wide-legged forward fold. Let's bring the hands underneath the shoulders. Find a half lift here. Push into the mat. Flat back, pushing into the hands, and then continue your travels. We're going all the way to the back of the mat. Left toes turn towards the back of the mat. You might have to step that right foot out a little and turn the toes on the left foot out to an angle just about, I don't know, they'd be facing like 11 o'clock. And then you can find that little shift in your weight again on the wrists here. And then find your way down into that lizard. Right knee comes to the mat. Left toes turn out, coming onto the right forearm. And maybe bringing the left hand to the outside of the hip, or the inside of the knee. Don't forget to breathe in this shape. So you're going to want to hold your breath. The more tension you have, the more you're likely to hold your breath. So try and just work into it. Bringing both hands underneath your shoulders, curl the right toes under, lift that knee off the mat. And then again, twisting till you come to that left side of your mat. Only this time you're going to bring your feet a little bit closer together and then melt down, bringing your hands to wherever you can get on the legs. So maybe the right ankle, the left ankle, maybe the outside of the feet, maybe the thighs. Tucking the head nice and low. This is definitely a balance challenge. Make sure you're rooting into all the corners of the feet, not just one side. Bring the hands underneath you, and then go ahead and slowly, I hop back a little bit, go ahead and slowly lower your knees to the mat, and then find your way to a nice comfy seat. Doesn't matter how you're facing, however it makes sense. I'm actually going to sit with a little bit of space between my knees just because that's helping my knees for whatever reason today. And if you want to sit with your legs nice and close together, if you have the space to do that, you can absolutely do that. All right, and then we're going to find those eagle arms once again. So we're going to reach the arms out nice and long. And we're going to sweep the left arm underneath the right arm first, and then take maybe that double wrap with the wrist. This time as you inhale, you're going to lift all the way up. And then as you exhale, you're going to reach forward and hinge down and scoop the elbows just outside of the knees. Now my legs are a little bit wider, so I can't scoop my elbows to the knees, but I can bring them just to the mat in front of me. And that is a really nice upper back stretch. Good. And then inhale, reach all the way back up. Takes a little bit of core strength and come all the way back up. Remember which one's down below because I'm going to forget. So the right arm is, you're going to unravel. Left arm is down. Both arms are reaching up towards the sky. Bend that right elbow and grab onto the elbow with your left hand and just pull that elbow towards your head. This is probably enough. Or you can reach that left arm around and underneath because we're doing some arm stretches today. You might be able to grip onto your fingers behind you. Take that cow face pose. Good. Go ahead and release. Give it a little shake out. Release. All right, I hope you remembered. For me, it's the right arm underneath. Take that little eagle arm bind. Inhale, reach up. You know where we're going. Use your core to help you get down and either tuck the elbows or just bring the elbows to the mat. And then once you get there, think about separating the shoulder blades behind you. So protracting, pulling away those shoulder blades. And then go ahead and release. Come all the way back up. There's that core strength again. Release the arms. You're going to bend the left elbow, grab onto it with the right hand, and bring that hand to the back of your neck. Now, if you had the space on the other side, you might have it on this side. That's a no-go for me. So you can just keep holding on to that elbow if it feels good. Perfect. Good. Go ahead and release. Give it a nice shake. And let's get off of these legs like this. Sweep them out and in front of you. You can spin if you don't like the way you're oriented on your mat. And just reach your legs nice and long in front of you to start with. Kind of work out the kinks in the ankles or whatever you've got going on there. We're going to find it's our Janu Sirsasana, or seated tree, right? So you're going to bring the sole of your left foot to the inner thigh of the right leg. You're going to twist and then walk your hands down towards that right foot, probably somewhere between the knee and the ankle. You're going to find that's as far as you can go. Maybe you might have some extra room and you can grab onto the foot, but that's not necessary to get a good stretch here. Just go ahead and melt down over the legs. Every moment that we spend in a shape, the deeper and the more it changes, right? So even if you feel like you're holding perfectly still, there's still changes that are happening. Muscles are opening up, tendons are softening. Use your hands to walk you back up to a seated shape. Put that left ankle right above the right knee and then slide that right leg in. You can hang out right here, or if you like, you can start to walk your seat closer to your heel. Maybe rocking a little side to side here. Nice. Then we're not done with this fancy little sequence here. We're just going to slide a little bit further back so that you can just put that right foot on the floor. The left leg is going to stay to the outside of the right foot. See, fancy little move there. And then either wrapping the elbow around the front of the knee or just hooking it to the outside and looking over your left shoulder. So now we found a twist. Beautiful. Go ahead and unwind, unravel, release that left leg down next to the right. Give it a nice pat out, shake out. You can reset with a forward fold if that feels good. And then heading towards our Janu Sirsasana head to knee pose on the second side. The sole of the right foot comes into the inseam. We're going to make sure that both butt cheeks are on the mat, and then lowering down, reaching long, melting over the leg. So if this bend in the knee is too much, you can always slide the foot closer to the calf. That will help, or you can prop this leg up. Go ahead and inhale, reaching back up, sliding that right ankle over the left knee. Find your way to that figure four. And again, scooching forward if that feels good. Wherever you're at though, you want to make sure that you're sitting up nice and tall here. You don't want to sink down into this shape. You want to really lift up. Just like we did at the beginning. Beautiful. And then go ahead and slide that foot out in front of you. Right foot comes to the outside of the left. And then taking that twist on the side, I'm going to just hook around the front of the knee, bring that right arm behind and look over that right shoulder. So you want to inhale and find length through your spine, and then exhale and come deep into that stretch. Very nice. Go ahead and unwind, unravel. Reach the legs long down the mat again. Take that little easy fold, stretch it out, realign. And then we're just going to come, if you're not already, you can turn. We're just going to come all the way down onto your back. Keep your feet on the mat and your knees bent. Coming into just a baby bridge to kind of get a little bit of an inversion in today. So lifting the hips up, and we're not, like I said, baby bridge, so not even high enough to slide the arms underneath. We're just going to tuck the tailbone long towards your heels and lift the hips up so that just about, I don't know, maybe 6 inches between the hips and the floor. And then I want you to squeeze the thighs together. So the whole outside of your leg is going to light up. And then think about creating some space here between the ribs and the hips. And as soon as I said that, I felt my whole torso just open right up there. Lift the hips up just a tiny bit higher. Squeeze the legs in just a little bit more. Nice. Little tiny inversion here. And then lower back down to the mat, scooping the knees into your heart space, wrapping the forearms around the shins, and taking a nice yogi massage here. And then go ahead and reach the arms nice and long overhead. Extend the legs down the mat nice and long. Take a big stretch. Let the back arch off the mat. And then relax the legs. Relax the arms by your side. Close your eyes. And settle into your Shavasana shape, your final corpse pose. Become aware of your breath pattern. And it doesn't matter what exactly the breath pattern is, as long as it's steady and even. Wiggling your fingers and toes, creating gentle movement as it seems right to you. Rolling and finding your way towards one side or the other, and pausing there. Eventually using your hands to help you, coming to any seat that feels nice and comfy. Maybe your Sukhasana, your easy pose. If easy pose doesn't feel easy, you can find any shape that works. We're going to revisit those gentle neck rolls again, bringing left ear to left shoulder. And then dropping the crown of the head forward, creating that length in the back of the neck. And then right ear, right shoulder. And then if it feels good for you, you can open up the throat as the neck opens up. And then taking it around that circle very slowly and with intention. Noting that you're tapping all four corners on your way around. Shoulder, chin to chest, shoulder, chin to sky. Last time around. And then let's take 3 the other way because we have to do things evenly. And noticing how one way probably feels very natural and one way feels very challenging. You have to think about it when you go one way. And then finally, stopping with the chin comes to the chest. Create that length up the back of the spine. Be careful not to roll in on yourself. Make sure you keep the spine nice and long here. So it's almost like you're lifting your heart to meet your chin, and your chin is bowing to meet your heart. And then with intention, lift the chin. Perhaps bringing hands to heart center if that feels good. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat today. Have a fabulous rest of your Tuesday. Enjoy the sun. Namaste.